See.
Oh no, we can do that. Hello, hello everyone. Um, how do I hide the sidebar? Is that possible?
I don't have it.
Yeah, I don't have it either.
Oh well, I could just do this. I could just do this and this.
Loophole.
How's that? Okay, everyone. All the 15 of you that came. I don't know how many people are here. How do I check?
40. 38?
40, 38, but you'll all watch it later, right? All right, it's our last lecture, and Winther's funny. And what we always do on our last lecture is a hang with some of the people that made the course possible. A, to thank them. B, to have more of a roundtable or a coliseum forum style discussion about what's coming for you in future comp courses. So, introductions. Are we all situated on the same spot on the screen? So Sophia's far left to me. You can go first.
Yeah, hello. I'm Sophia. Hopefully you know me.
Actually, we should make sure
If
that
you
everyone
don't,
can hear you.
oh yeah, can you hear me? I'll just wait for the lag. Hello.
There shouldn't be too much. Oh no.
Yeah, they can hear me.
I've got bad news. I still have my VPN on. If I turn it
Oh
off, am I
no.
going to get kicked off? Is that a bad idea?
Maybe don't touch it.
Okay, is this that might be why the stream's delayed.
Oh,
But is the quality okay for
oh
the
well.
stream? Almost finished assignment 2. Good job. Okay, Sophia, please. Sorry. It looks okay.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Sophia. I'm one of your course admins. I studied computer science. I'm now graduated and work at Atlassian.
Well, and you
Yeah, that's all
gave a
from me.
lecture, so I hope everyone knows who you
Oh
are.
yeah, yeah. If you don't know who I am, go watch Week 8
Then you're
lecture.
in trouble.
Yeah. Ibby?
Hello, I'm Ibby. I'm also one of the course admins. I'm in my final year of comp sci, and yeah, I don't think I've done a lecture before, so
Oh, I'm skipping me. Bree?
What?
Oh, okay. No, Jake, you got to introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Bree. I've been moderating lectures this entire term, so I hope you've seen me in person. I also wrote assignment one this term, so you've definitely suffered because of me.
Yeah, you can
Um,
thank Brianna for that. Yes.
yes, I'm passing on to Henry.
I'm Henry. If you've not seen me, then you didn't watch Week 8 Lecture 1 or Week 9 Lecture 1. I'm a new lecturer at UNSW, so thanks for the warm welcome. And you may know me from such epic moments as Updog and writing on the whiteboard and permanent marker.
Did you bring your own permanent marker, or was that
No, I
in the
went to the
room?
supply closet. I went to the supply closet, went to the section labeled whiteboard markers, grabbed one of the ones that was labeled whiteboard marker with a big W on it, and it was a permanent marker.
That's lovely. Okay, so everyone can hear us. That's good. All right. As you should all know by now, we've completed the formal content for this course, which is really good. And so in this last lecture, which might only go for we should do a big kahoot. We should do a big kahoot. Okay, I'm going to work on that while we talk. But in this last lecture, we're going to have the final kahoot plus something that a lot of students really get a lot of value out of is a discussion around what's next in comp. So maybe we should do a little poll. I guess now we're in a call together, but it's going to be Brie, I suppose. What programs are everyone in? Let's get a good understanding for where everyone's coming from. I think we have a lot of engineering students this term. And then we can sort of talk about future comp courses, because some engineering students do need to take comp courses and stuff. While we do that, let's try and cook up a really hard Kahoot.
All linkless, except that should be easy because Sophia and I
That's
nailed
right.
that.
That's right. No, I came back. I did some linked list stuff, and everyone seemed to have a pretty good understanding of it. I even heard someone said that they were more worried about the array hurdles than the linked list hurdles, which is
Ah,
counterintuitive, but probably a good sign.
it's because they all know the greatest line of code ever written, which is struct node star current equals head. If you remember that,
I
you're
know.
fine.
Exactly. Okay. God, which of these Kahoots is the one to go? Sophia, you have access to the shared Kahoot library, don't you?
Yeah, I just sent
Oh,
you
you
one
just got one.
in the Teams chat, but I don't know if it's exactly
All right,
cooked.
can we cook it up a
But
bit?
it is. I can see what we can. I remember writing a really cooked one for you not too long ago, which I don't know where it is, but I can try to find it. Or cook this one up a little more in the
Yeah, let's
meantime
just cook
while
this one
we're
up a little more
yapping to everyone.
while everyone's completing the
What's the criteria for cooked?
Q11.
In the meantime, you should all be filling out the My Experience report,
Yes.
which can be found
Okay.
somewhere.
What happened to? Oh, because I opened the chat. Yeah, let's see where we are at on my experience.
11 cooked. That's gonna really cook them.
Here we go. It's the slowest website ever. Okay, we're cooking a
Mine's
Kahoot. The forum responses. Okay, the response. Okay, so we've got 31% computer science. Okay, we can talk to that. 10% software engineering. We can talk to that. 34% electrical engine. 37% electrical engineering. Excuse me. And 23% are other. Leave in chat, but no one has left it in the chat. So that's good. We're looking for some chat explanations. So there could be double degrees, could be business. We're at 48% and 49% for my experience. We're getting there. We're getting there. Aerospace and nuclear. Nice. Mechatronics. Yeah. Robotics, mechatronics. So a lot of engineering students, I think. All right. So let's talk to the tutors first. You're all comp sci students, right?
Yeah.
So
Correct.
one of the big questions from people who want to do comp stuff or from engineering students who realize comp is better than engineering is which comp course to do next. And I think there is a bit of confusion because logically following 1511, you might think it's 1521. But what do we all think a better choice is, or what did you all do? Sophia, you go.
I think 1521.
Okay. No,
Here you go.
Ibby go.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah, I was just saying 1521's a pretty good course to follow along 1511. It's a lot of well, not a lot of overlap, but there is some overlap and it's really well structured. So you get a lot of support in that one as well.
Yeah. Anyone else? What did you all do?
I did 1521 and 2521 together after 1511. I think there's value in doing both courses. Like Izzy said, 1521 follows on really well. So does 2521. It's like linked list, but more. 2521, a lot of people do say is a little more challenging. So for students who maybe are engineering students and thinking about swapping into computer science, I would recommend doing 2521 before you make that decision. Which is, I think something that people will commonly hear. I think 1531 is your other option on what you could do. I generally suggest doing that one a little bit later, since it's a bit more of a bigger project, it's group work, and it's also not in C. So if you're new to programming, learning a new language straight again in T2, for you guys T3, would be a bit much after learning C straight away.
Yeah. I did 2521 straight after 1511. 2521 is data structures and algorithms, so you get to learn about graphs, trees, and some special searching algorithms and stuff like that. I was not actually enrolled in computer science first. I did data science first, so I didn't have to do any more comp courses. So I didn't actually do 1521 or 1531 until much later. 1521 is systems fundamentals. You get to learn just basically like low-level code, how we actually do memory manipulation, and how things are actually happening, at a very low-level kind of idea. And then 1531, it's software fundamentals. They just recently changed the course, so you have a big major work, there's a big group course, like a group work assignment that runs the entire length of the term, and also there's a final now. And you get to build like the back end for some sort of web app. So in past it's been like building Kahoot, but like a dumbed down version of Kahoot, and obviously you couldn't call it Kahoot. So things like that. I do always tell my students, take 1531, like wait till your second year. I know it starts with a 1, but wait till your second year. And 2521, even though it starts with a 2, try to take it in your first year, because 2521 becomes a big prerequisite for a lot more courses, and it basically means after you do 2521, you can do just about any like comp course you like.
Yeah. So like if you talk to some of the people in the school that have been writing and delivering these courses for a long time, often if you've got the flexibility and you can do it, the sort of general advice is like they're all valid options. You could do 1521, but we suggest 2521 is the great follow-up to 1511. In fact, if we could redo the course IDs, there's a good chance we would make it more logical that 2521 follows 1511, just because it really is the natural progression from 1511. You go into 1511 is kind of a data structures light intro programming, and so having a proper data structures course that follows it makes a lot of sense. Then you go down to 1521, like down in level of abstraction. And I totally agree, do not do 1531 in first year. I used to lecture that course. It's really good, but it's a lot of work. And you want a little, like that year of maturity as a comp student or a UNSW student really helps when you're navigating, working in teams. And most of the issues in that course, to be honest, come about interpersonal teams issues. So definitely agree with that advice. For the engineering students that don't have to do comp, so the non-elect students, how many of you are thinking about doing future comp courses, I suppose? And while we talk about that, so then the electrical students, you guys have to do, is it 1521? Is that right? Yeah.
Mhm.
But you have to do, you got to do 1521 next. Yes. So you pretty much have to do it term 3, because I think you got to do DESN 2000 after that, which requires 1521. Is 1521 and 2521 a bad combo? So Lemon, I guess, is talking about doing them in the same term.
I did that.
I did that as well.
I think it's very common for people to do that if you're a pure computer science student. Can I say one piece of advice?
This person's a... No, they're not. Never mind. I don't know what program Lemon's in. Never mind. Keep going.
If you're doing both together, a piece of advice would be just to stay on top of everything and be aware of your deadlines. Most CSE courses have similar assignment deadlines. I think 1521 and 2521 have shifted their deadlines a little bit to not be on the exact same day, since it is such a common combo, but it will still be like similar deadlines to like your 1511 assignments and whatnot, and weekly labs. So if you just need to manage your time, knowing that you have those same deadlines for 2 courses would be like what's really important if you do them together.
But just definitely don't do 3 comp courses. I think that's too much.
I've done that.
Yeah, it's probably and like it depends. Like everyone's different. Some people could probably do it fine, but especially if you've got a job or something, or other, things you need to do outside of class, that's pretty rough.
Triple comp is.
Triple comp is. You'll do it once and then you'll regret it probably, and then you'll never do it again.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I feel like having 2 comp courses allows you the time to actually learn the content rather than just trying to cram in assessments.
Yeah, I think you got to have like a term where you do double comp to really just like get into comp. I couldn't change from 1911, so I can't do future comp, I think. This was one student. So is that true? Is there a way around that? I don't know if there is.
I think you can talk to Nucleus, and because it's a combined course, you might be able to get a RPL based on your 1911 mark, especially if you want to change degrees.
Yeah, so
since you can't take 1511.
It all depends on how you go in 1911. If you get a 50p in 1911, it's probably not good evidence that you would do really well in future comp courses. But if you do really well, the university is broadly aware how similar the courses are, right? So you could make a claim to the program director of computer science, which happens to be me, and sometimes we can make that exception and let you into future comp courses. Lemon was software engineering. Okay, yeah, software engineering, like you can do double comp for sure. Like you should do double comp, I would say, at some point. So would you recommend 2521 in T3 and 1531 in T1? Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And when would you do 1521? T3 maybe? Yeah. I think that's a good idea, Limes. Yeah, and Ray's already answered.
If anyone desperately wants to hold off until doing 2521 in term 1 of next year, then you can have me teaching it.
Yay, I'm sure
And
people will be doing that here.
I'm sure people will delay their degree just to have me teach 2521.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I would want to have you for 2521.
Oh, thanks.
The whiteboards wouldn't. Should I do 2511 before 2521?
You can't.
And we should explain what those courses are, by the way.
Yeah.
I think Bree, you did 2511 most recently.
Yeah,
You
so
wanna do that
251 is object-oriented programming. It's in
Yeah.
Java, but I've already replied back in chat. 251 is a prerequisite for 2511, so you
Of
can't
course.
The
you
numbers
can't
are
say
tricky.
2511 before
Yeah,
you take 2521.
we need to fix the
so-
numbers. There's so this goes back before trimesters. These were designed in a different time. Yeah.
But it's
Ignore
object-oriented
CSC numbers.
Yeah, you got to kind of ignore the numbers. It's why you got to stay engaged and like learn what courses actually flow on well. Yeah.
Even
Thoughts?
beyond these confusing numbers, there's like some courses that start with a 6, and last time I checked, most degrees aren't 6 years long, but apparently that's unrelated.
No, unrelated. It's level
Yeah.
6. Yeah. Thoughts on taking 2521 in a summer term? Or thoughts on summer terms in general?
It's
I have
condensed.
thoughts.
It's really condensed, but I've seen people do it. Yeah, just
do it as a last resort if you really have to. Then sure, because there are obviously extenuating circumstances for everybody. But if you really don't have to, then please do it in a trimester. It'll be a lot more enjoyable, and because I think the summer term is what 4 or 5 weeks, and you're still expected to learn the same amount of content that we do over 10 weeks, right? So it's pretty intense. You will not have a summer, you won't have a break, and then you'll go back into a full year of uni. And obviously at UNSW, we only really have that summer break as our longest break. So you do deserve some time off to, reset, recharge, spend some time with family and friends.
Summer terms can be less demanding if you're doing non-comp courses. Like I did some of my general education units during the summer term, which could be good if you're needing to get stuff done. Like I found it was actually quite enjoyable to do some courses that aligned more with my interests. Like I did some like physics and astronomy courses during the summer. So if you're looking for something to do in the summer, maybe go that direction over 2521 if you can hold off doing 2521 in the summer
Or
term.
like, touch grass. I think the trimesters
Yeah.
are broad. The trimesters are really rough in the sense that you're basically engaged all year. So I would. It's not like semesters where you have 2 14-week semesters and then you're like, okay, I could do something in the summer and make some more progress. In fact, if you do one course in one summer term in your program, you will save 0 time. Because there's one course of flexibility in the trimester system. So there's kind of, unless you do multiple courses in summer term, there's no value out of doing it. And like, I know it's like when you're like 21 or whatever, however old you all are, no, younger, 18, 19.
18, 19.
Yeah. You're like, oh my God, 3 years, that's the longest time ever. Like I need to do it in 2.5 years. And it's like, so what? Like you're just not going to, and you don't need to. So I would say, unless you're trying to catch up because maybe you failed a course or something, which also happens, like that's not the end of the world either. I wouldn't really bother. Or like maybe there's a course that only runs in the summer term that you really want to take. Like that's a good reason to take it, but not just to, buy yourself a term. In fact, yeah, it'd be really hard to buy yourself a term, wouldn't it? You'd have to do 2 or 3 courses in summer.
You'd have to do 3, which you could do like 1 each year, but then a term doesn't really do much for you.
And you got to find the right courses. Like, it's just a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. So you guys are first year. In 2028, we'll be back in semesters. Will that affect you? You might have
They're going to see semesters.
Yeah,
If you extend your
might
degree.
see semesters. You might just see them.
Well, the
coming back.
engineering students would.
The engineering students will. Yeah, good point. Yeah,
That's
it's shocking to think about. So everything will change anyway. What about you, Henry? Did you do any summer term courses? You probably had a semester model.
I had a semester model, but I did actually do a summer term course, but it was because I was doing a double degree in computer science and economics. I just figured I might as well clear that a bit quicker.
Yeah.
I taught summer courses for a few years now, and even when we're in the semester model, it is packed. In fact, I taught data structures and algorithms as a summer course at my previous university, and we did, I think it was 5 weeks. We did essentially 5 weeks of content in 1 week, and then had the midterm after 1 week.
Yeah,
And that was the
that's
first half.
hyper-condensed. Yeah, usually they're like half the duration, but 2. So you're saying it's a 2 or 3 week course?
No, the second half was stretched out over a bit longer,
Right.
but the idea was, well, the first half is the easier half, so do it all in 1 week, then do the harder half at sort of a more normal pace. It was cooked, as it were.
Cooked. All right. Does CSC SOC or the CSC faculty have an office or room to talk to a representative like LSOC, I assume that's Electrical Society, has their own room in the ELEC building? So I don't think we have a CSC SOC office.
But we have student reps, like there are student representatives, and those are kind of the people you would go to.
Do you want to explain the
if you have
difference
any
between Stu Reps and CSC SOC, Brie?
Right. This is my best understanding. So CSC SOC is a student-run organization, and it's a club, and it's a society. And I think within the society themselves, I think there's a role for like an undergraduate and a postgrad rep, and they're kind of just from the society, right? So you can raise concerns with society, but they're not necessarily affiliated with the faculty or the school. And then there's something called Stu Reps, which is what the school runs. And these are people that I think we vote for them, or they run and then we vote. And then they have an official, responsibility with the school to raise any or to handle any student concerns and any complaints that you may have. So they're the kind of people you go to if you feel like certain courses aren't being handled correctly, or if you feel like the feedback is not being well received or things like that, or if you have any concerns and complaints, that's kind of just where you should go. I don't think there's an actual office. I think you just email them.
Yeah, it's an email.
I think it's just Stureps.
Yeah, I think
CC
so.
Stureps at unsw.edu.au.
We should confirm.
It's probably
there's a whole website.
in our inbox.
There's a whole website.
Yeah, they have a taggy page.
Wait. I can practice this.
So a screen share?
Yeah, can you?
Wow, look at that.
He's doing it.
I'm doing it. Hold on.
He's starting to believe.
Yeah, because they have Stureps have regular meetings
That's
with
right.
faculty to talk about everything that needs to be talked about.
So I've linked to the website, but we are your Stureps. You can contact them here. You've got so there's 3 Stureps, 3 or 2 Stureps per course. So you've got a per sort of program stream. So undergraduate. So there's actually heaps. Undergrad second year, undergrad third year, undergrad fourth year, and postgrad. You can view all the minutes from the annual meetings with the school executive. You can contact them here. There's actually a contact form, or there's an email, stureps@csc.unsw.edu.au. And you can see all the reports going back to 2006. Let's look at the 2006 report. What was going on in 2006? K14 labs.
Students weren't born. Most students weren't born.
2006. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's when these students were born. I don't like that.
We have a lab capacity issue. So that's not
Oh
changed.
no.
Some things never change.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to
Quotas.
reopen K14 labs to all students. Either let them use Windows or convert back to Linux. Wow.
What were they on then?
Temperatures. What is it? Etiquette. You're being generally obnoxious in labs. You're playing games or talking on mobile phones or just chatting really loudly with their friends. There doesn't seem to be anything students can do about this besides to try and find another lab. To quote one student, it's very hard to work with people screaming at each other across the labs. I don't care if they've been in the lab the whole day. I just came in. I shouldn't have to change labs or put up with this kind of thing. This is great. This is like 2006 comp gossip.
Nothing
Real
has changed.
Housewives.
Students found the COMP1511 project finding the spec very confusing. So, yeah. So it's quite formal. Whoops. It's quite formal, the Stu Rep stuff. It's on the record, I suppose. So, but like, it totally depends, random, why you wanted to talk to them. If it's like an issue that you need to raise, there could be other avenues. So it is worth talking about. So the school has a grievance process that's a lot more formal than, like, you might go to your Stu Rep to be like, oh, this course's spec was kind of annoying, or like a lot of people lost marks where they shouldn't have in this course, or something like that. You could go there for that. If it's something more serious, and this is like good for everyone to know, there's like so many options and you can't really go wrong, but as long as you speak to a reasonable adult, someone will flag it up the right pathway. But the school has a grievance officer and a grievance process. And then the university has its own complaints process. But usually, like, depending on the sort of issue, you start lower and work your way up depending on the severity of the issue and how you're going with it. So if it's like a course related thing, I would start with the Stu Rep, right? If it's like this person did something I think could be quite problematic, maybe go to the grievance officer. If it's like a bigger issue that's not getting solved by the grievance process for some reason, we might even sometimes say, hey, you should probably take this to the central complaints line, go and do that. And then that's a different email address. So like there's multiple different options, but like you can, if you just speak to someone you feel comfortable speaking to, you'll usually find a solution or a pathway to a solution at least. But so yeah, if you wanted to share details random as to what you wanted to talk to CSC Soc about, like, because it could be different. If you just like want to join CSC Soc or something, that's a completely different process. I know, Sophia, you were did you have a leadership role in CSC Soc? And apologies if others did too.
Yeah, I was subcom and director, and then I was an exec in WeSoc. I think Bree also had her, not in CSC Soc, but other societies. But yeah, another really great place if you just want to find people is, I know like CSC Soc has their weekly barbecue right outside the CSC building.
Go to that. Yeah, that's free
I feel like
lunch.
that's their like office hours. It's just like chatting up people at events if you want to find them in person. Otherwise, like the Discord is very vibrant. There's a lot of chatter on there, and that's a good place.
When's the free food? Asking for a friend.
Every
Wednesday,
lunch.
12 to 2, John Lyons Garden.
Oh yeah.
Sausage sizzle. It's good.
Follow your
I lived
nose.
off of that when I was in uni. Yeah.
All right. My degree is 6 years long. Would it be worth doing summer courses then? Oh, I don't know. Lemon, live your life. There's no answer. There's no answer.
My degree took 7 years. That included the PhD, but still, it's not actually that long
That's a few
in the
degrees,
grand
I
scheme of the
suppose.
universe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Depends how you feel.
Enjoy uni.
Yeah, enjoy the process. Don't rush to end it, I suppose.
You could be like me and just never leave it.
Yeah. Kind of unrelated, but can any course outside of comp be a gen ed course for a comp student? So I think the answer is no. I think a gen ed needs to be out of the faculty, not just out of comp.
Any non-comp and then some math courses and science courses or engineering courses.
I think it's going to be
you
outside your
can't
faculty.
Yeah, like non-eng.
So it can't be eng, that's right. So you can't do an engineering course. You'd have to do something from business or arts or film or something quite different.
It doesn't have to be gens though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can always
it doesn't have to be
check with
labeled
Nucleus.
gen ed. Always, if you're unsure, don't check with Nucleus. You could get into a course that doesn't end up counting on your progress. And that's kind of, you don't want to do that. So always just ask Nucleus, like, will this check? They have the tools to check. But some courses are designed to be gen ed. So what that means is that they're like very general, like appeal to lots of people from lots of faculties, but they don't sit within a particular program stream. So like we could run a comp course that's like introduction to prompt engineering. That would be like a gen ed course because we wouldn't put it in comp, like in the comp stream.
Yeah, like right now I'm taking personal finance. I know it's run by School of Banking and Finance, and they have a specific one for commerce students. Like this, it starts with com, but the general education one is Gen C, general course.
I should have done
and that's
a course
what I'm
like
taking.
That. That's a good idea. Give me some tips. How do we get financial independence? What do they teach you in the course?
Every lecture starts with, "Oh, this is not any advice.
Oh God,
please,
okay.
This is not legal advice." No, I've learned a lot. It's been really interesting to learn about taxation strategies. Taxation strategy is how you make a lot of your money back.
Oh, okay. We have to.
I shouldn't have dropped it.
I
Damn
just
it.
googled here, so can someone tell me the Australian taxation strategies?
It's complicated.
Take personal
no.
finance.
Yeah, you
Should have
can
taken
audit the
personal
course, Henry,
finance.
for free.
Okay.
Maybe we should.
And that in of itself is a taxation strategy.
That's
I've
right.
decided.
That's right.
What happened, Jake? Question: what happens if we take the course and fail? Does it matter?
You don't sit assessments when you audit, so no problem.
All right, cool, easy. We can Skype off in the back of the class.
Yeah, that's right. We
Be
can
the
a
cool
nuisance.
kids. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. We've answered that. Can anyone talk about the future of AI in our educational journey? I don't know why no one is talking about that. That's a really good question. There's so much to talk about there. So when you talk about the future of our educational journey, what do you mean? So do you mean like what the university is doing? Do you mean like where the industry is going? You said educational journey, so I suppose that means more at UNSW. Yeah, big question. I mean, there is a lot to talk about there, but let's start with I'll call you tutors, but let's just say, what do we think about AI and the field? Let's start there, and then we'll work back. You've all used the tools and things.
We're final years and all graduated, so we haven't had as much of an impact, I would say, as the current like 1511, 1911 students. Whenever I get asked this, just generally, just from any of my friends who are in comp or friends who are in comp, the kind of general response I give back is it just forces you to learn more than just the basics. So AI is really great at doing kind of a lot of basic things. So like if you ask it for a very basic implementation of X thing, it can do that very well, but it's never a very specific implementation. And where it really comes down to in industry or in life is just like you can generally know about a topic, but if you don't know how to apply it to every specific situation, circumstances, or your like the needs that you need, or that are required, I should say, needs that are required, then you kind of don't really know anything. You're just kind of learning it. So that's kind of where I kind of put that distinction that yes, AI can be useful, but it's still really up to you to learn more than just, oh, this is what this thing is. It's about how do I use this thing? What if this situation changes? How do I use it in this situation? And having that knowledge is far more important and has always been really important, but maybe just put on the back burner because it's always getting to what is this thing has been a lot more harder to get to, but now it's so much more easier. So the distinction really lies in how can I use this thing that I've just learned.
Yeah. I agree. I think AI has brought the bottom up. And what I mean by that is there were always computing graduates who were really at the top of their sort of field, and they were always amazing and they got no problems. And then really the floor was quite low. So there were lots of people who probably actually, and maybe they weren't UNSW graduates, but didn't actually have a great deep understanding of computing, but they were able to sort of stitch things together. I think a lot of that needs to go away because AI can just do that. But there's so much room at the top. But really just because so few people were really operating there, it doesn't get impacted as much. yeah, if you play around with these tools a lot, they are quite impressive, and who knows where they'll go, but they're not anywhere close to being like a great engineer, I think, and probably won't get there for a while. But doesn't mean that the impact is nil. But so Mahmood has clarified, and I hope I said your name right, that they're talking more about what the uni is doing. It seems more significant than semesters, but everyone's talking about semesters. Yeah, semesters is the big thing that everyone loves to complain about. But so the university is doing a few things. So we were the only Asia Pacific university to strike this big deal with OpenAI, by the way. So I think the plan is eventually everyone will have a license to use like the pro OpenAI models at UNSW with like all the privacy constraints so that data isn't sent and stuff. So I mean, I don't know if that's an interesting thing that they're doing. In terms of like assessment design, like what's happening there, I think the answer is it's just not clear what to do yet. And one thing, like, you know, lots of people, universities are too slow and like they're not adapting and blah, 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 blah. But universities are older than countries. Like the concept of a university predates the concept of a nation. We've been around for longer than like anything, like any organization pretty much. So I think like, yes, of course, universities aren't going to be the nimblest to respond, but it's because we're typically more careful. And if we had have responded when ChatGPT came out in 2023 and did something too quickly, then, you know, the hype would have died down. We realized back then the models really weren't that good. So I think it's a slower, more measured response. I think there's going to be a reliance on, at the moment, like invigilated assessments to make sure people actually have a good understanding of what we say they have a good understanding of. But like, you know, people talk about AGI coming in 2028. I just don't see it. I think that's just big tech hyperbole because they're in a bubble. But welcome to be proved wrong.
I mean, I'm in the big tech bubble, and I would say that in tech, it's very, how can we use AI to accelerate what we're doing? Not how can we use AI to replace our engineers? Like, how can an engineer use it to speed up your workflow? And how can we put it into our big tech like products that we offer customers to make their work faster? But big tech is very quick to jump onto AI.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue, Dick.
No, that's right. Look, like for me, until AI can fix my calendar up, like I'm not that impressed. Then I'll be impressed.
Yeah, I'm sort of, at least from my education point of view, I think AI has given everyone. It used to be that if you had a question, you'd have to like sit and think about that question and maybe go see a tutor or maybe go on Stack Overflow and get called an idiot by users on Stack Overflow. And now that's just not a thing anymore. Now if it's 3 in the morning and my linked list doesn't work, I can just ask AI to tell me what's wrong with my linked list. And this is really useful for some students who can properly utilize these tools to further their learning, and it's really dangerous for other students. And the only way, the problem to me is that the only way we can find out which students are which is at the end of the trimester with an invigilated exam, and that's possibly the time when you find out which of these students you are.
I think that's a great point.
I think using AI as like a tool is the way to go. Don't use it as a substitute to your thinking. Don't, as soon as you find a problem, be like, I have to ask ChatGPT to how to get out of it. So I think that's the main issue we find with students using AI. They're not using it as a tool, but as a way to just get through assignments or through labs, or just be like, here, think for me, offload the thinking. And yeah, at the end of the day, you're only as good as the LLM that you're using then, and not using your actual brain.
Yeah, I think, and like Henry, I like the way you worded that. Is like, I think a lot of people are going to trick themselves into thinking they know things, and actually you don't. And there's nothing, I don't know what we can do as a university to convince you that you do or don't know something. Like, until we test you, which we don't want to do all the time, by the way, but it's up to you, really. At the end of the day, you're all adults choosing to come here and pay us money, not the other way around. So you should know, have some introspection skills to know what you know and what you don't know.
And I've seen it time and time again of people who have tricked themselves, and it's just soul crushing when they when they enter a final exam thinking that they know because they've tricked themselves into thinking that they've learned, and then coming out of the final exam and failing, and that sucks, and you hate to see it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
but
a
and by the
cautionary
way, that
tale,
went
as it
way
were.
before AI, right?
Well, yeah,
People
true.
did that all the time. Like,
Mm.
oh, I
Get
was really
Stack Overflow
confident,
even.
and then or just like misjudged where they were. Some people are better at that than others. So, and then like, but there are so many things happening as well. So like, in fact, my own research on AI in education is spinning out into a startup. We won some awards last year on our work on DCC Help, actually, which it sounds like, have any of you used DCC Help this term? Well, I know
Hopefully you have.
most of you have. Yeah. So like that work, we actually developed those models that run like that's not just ChatGPT. That's our own models and tuning of models. Some of them we actually have. Actually, I don't know if you know this, but all of you, there's like multiple different models that we're testing at the same time, and some of you get different models at different times, and it rotates and things. Some of it are like open source models that are fine tuned. Some of them are ChatGPT. Some of them are fine tuned to ChatGPT. So we're doing a lot of work there to make sure that we're developing models that don't give too many solutions to students and trying to measure that. We do a lot of work in AI literacy, like teaching primary and school kids about the dangers and risks and benefits of AI. And I'll plug myself for next year again. So term 3 next year, there'll be COMP1511, which is a brand new course called Machine Learning Engineering, which is, I think, a pretty interesting course because one of the, like, you'll know this, Sophia. Does Atlassian have MLEs?
Yes,
Yeah,
on my team.
Yeah, great. So companies like hire a lot of machine learning engineers now, and they're sort of like a hybrid between. Well, I'd love to get Sophia's take on it, but in my view, I used to be a machine learning engineer, kind of before we called them machine learning engineers. I was a research engineer, but it's kind of like a hybrid data scientist, but you've got proper software engineering training. So you're like, it's funny, like have you worked with data scientists, Sophia, or anyone?
Yeah.
Like pure, they like
We've
can't
been
write
meetings
code.
all this morning.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Have you ever? Yeah, they're like they're really like they're just doing something different. Like they write more mathematical scripts and they can like create models and things, but it's not robust. Like all the stuff you learn in 1531 they haven't learned. And so a machine learning engineer has the data science side, but can actually write robust code. And so that's the course that's going to be running for the first time in T3. So I don't think there's details published on it, but it's COMP1510, machine learning engineering. So we are doing a lot. And then there's so many other people doing stuff around the university. There's strategies coming out and things. So more will come. But AGI in 2028, like I don't see it. If you listen to Jan LeCun, I don't know if anyone knows him, he doesn't think the current architecture of LLMs. He's the chief, by the way, he's the chief AI scientist at Meta, and he's a NYU professor. He doesn't think the current architecture of LLMs will ever lead to AGI. It'll be something different. So, I mean, we don't know, but I don't think it's coming in 2028. But semesters will be here before AGI. I can say that with some clarity.
Will they be here before GTA 6?
Yeah,
That's the
I don't
question.
know about that. All right. But we can talk more about AI. It's interesting. Oh, yeah, there is that Dart 2252. Is that the AI art course that was in the news recently?
Yeah.
Which I don't think it was fair. Like, they just wrote a course on how to use generative AI to make art, which I understand where the people were coming from, but it's like, it was an elective. And if we didn't have an how to use AI course, then people would also be complaining that the university wasn't keeping up. So maybe you just can't win. What about having personal tutors that know everything about a student's learning patterns and use these within Moodle? I did K, to be honest. I think we're far off from something like a sentient, all-knowing tutor. But like I know the university is working on a project to use machine learning to identify students that are likely to fail a course before census, to like alert them, which is a little bit Minority Report, but I think like if it's applied correctly and we get in early enough, like a bit of a warning sign might help. So there's things happening.
I thought Sophia was our sentient all-knowing tutor.
Yeah, admin's calling Sophia GPT for 1511
That is
because if you
true.
ask me
We should
anything,
train a
I
model on
will.
you. Yeah.
Although I've got my own thoughts about warning systems for detecting early failures because I have experience with those, and the fun thing is if you tell 10 students, hey, based on the data right now, only one of you is going to pass, all 10 of them go, well, that's me. I'm him.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, I think
but
if you
that's
tell
neither
someone
here
they're
nor
going to
there.
fail, you might make it reality. So but there are things happening.
Yeah. Jake, I think you just missed a question
Huh?
about if you're teaching any future comp courses, or I guess you and Henry.
Oh, I did miss that, but yeah, well, I don't know what I'll teach next year exactly, but definitely 3110 machine learning engineer in T3, and we'll see what else. I know Henry wants to teach 1511, but you're teaching 1521 or 2521. T1.
I'm teaching 2521 in T1 of next year, and I want to teach 1511 so bad.
You'll
I
get
love this course.
it'll happen.
Everyone loves 1511.
Yeah. And you want to make sure you have 1 or 2 terms off too.
Yeah, that's
to do
true.
other stuff. All right. Is there a better way? I'm going to reword this question, but is there a better way to make AI work for you rather than you work for AI? Yeah, I just think like you gotta have restraint.
If you're learning something, don't use AI until you've understood what you're learning. And then like you can use it to implement things that you already know. It's just like tedious to retype the same thing over and over again. And then when you get an answer from ChatGPT, don't just be like, "Yep, that is the answer," and just actually read what's happened, like what it's
And
what it's done.
that's the thing, right? There's nothing we can do to teach that to you, I think, other than just scream it over and over, and maybe set up an exam. Honestly, that's the best tool we have at the moment, unfortunately, is to scare you all with a week 5 lab exam and a real exam at the end in which you won't have access to AI. Otherwise, I think everyone would just use it all the time.
I am pro week 5 lab exam. It's at
Me
every
too.
university I've been at, it's a controversial topic. I like how I say every university as if the number's greater than 2, but still.
Well, I'd love to get the students' opinions on, because that was the first time we ran the week 5 lab exam. We never used to have a midterm practice exam, and
Our little guinea pigs.
the challenge is that we can't do linked lists, and it's quite early even for arrays. But as a bit of a wake-up call, like, what did you all think about it? Was it useful? Was it annoying? Was it useless? Did you already know that it was coming? I mean, the challenge is you can't know what it was like to not have it, but maybe you've got opinions. I'm pretty sure I got a 0. Yeah, I think a lot of people got a 0, but that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
A
It's
0
not
is the
about
best
the
mark to
marks.
get because then you're just like, yeah, I need to lock in.
I think that's what we wanted, and like even if you got 0% of the marking, like you still got marks for doing it in the week. Yeah, it showed me I was slow. Yeah, speed is another one to do really well in COMP1511. Like you got to be incredibly. I don't know if Henry, if you've seen the exam. No, you haven't seen the exam, but once
It's a time crunch.
it's like tough.
Yeah,
Oh, have I frozen?
he has, but it's in a mildly funny position, so it's fine.
It's terrible.
Actually, all of us is frozen, it looks like.
Yeah, the whole course frozen.
Yeah,
Lovely.
we're all in sort of various.
But even on like my computer.
I'm worried.
Mine as well.
Oh, really? I'm worried it's the
Yeah.
VPN, but maybe it's okay.
Everyone's frozen.
Well, I can still hear you all.
Okay.
Is the
Yeah.
stream still working? PNG tubers. So yeah, it must be
Yeah.
working. Okay.
Awesome.
Do you think I should risk it and turn the VPN off? It should
I
just be
just
a
wish
quick
I had a better
reconnect.
pose before I froze.
Sophia, can you give us a cheat sheet of your shortcuts on VS Code?
There's
Well,
already a VS
there's
Code
one on
cheat
the-
sheet on the course website, which you will
Yeah,
have
there
access
is.
to in the final, but there's also
Let me
an
pull
official
up.
VS Code one, like they published that has like
Yeah.
all the commands, but like you only need a handful of those in
Yeah.
1511.
Let me pull it. I wrote it up like last year, I think, with John.
Oh,
Your
Oh.
camera isn't working.
We're no longer
we're no longer in the
Colosseum.
Together
Yeah.
mode stopped.
Well, I turned it
Can they
off.
Oh,
still hear us
no.
on the stream?
I don't know what's going on. Should we?
Maybe together mode is killing it.
That's why I tried to turn it off, but even then, it's still broken.
No.
And now
Damn.
together mode is just darkness for me.
Should we?
We're all
Should we
in the
end and
dark.
restart the call?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I mean, whose idea was it to use Teams for this?
We're so back.
We're so back.
Okay. Did the stream drop out when we were doing
I
that?
don't think
Or are we
so.
like,
No, they can see us
Cool.
joining the call one by one.
great?
But I'm just watching the stream live as well.
We missed, yeah, same. We missed a question about, oh, we just like continuing?
Yep.
Cool. We got a question, advice on internships,
Oh yeah.
when to apply, where and what. I mean, I can kick us off if people want to. I had too many internships in my undergrad. How to apply, where to apply. So CSE internships generally open more at the start of the year. Like applications are more around Feb, but then that's for like big tech, and then banks generally trickle more towards T2, and then your like startups and smaller companies, like your boutique software companies, are generally more towards September. So they are like all throughout the year, and those are just for your like traditional summer internship programs. So that's like kind of where. There's lots of places you can find internships. Lots of companies will have their own like jobs page. LinkedIn is a really good place, and a lot of student societies are sponsored by companies. So like CSE Soc, WeSoc, WIT, DevSoc, all of these tech student societies are all sponsored by industry, and they will post through the society's job boards and their social medias. So like I landed one through the CSE Soc job board, and then my other two were through like the company's website themselves. When of like in your degree in the what, I did an internship at the end of first year. I'm not saying I regret it, but I do say that your summers don't come back. So if you're in a 3-year degree, you're likely going to intern at the end of second year, which is your penultimate year, hoping to get a return offer to roll into a graduate role after your third year. That's like the ideal state of things. So if you intern in like first year as well, that means you'll have an internship in first year, maybe an internship in second year, and then you'll roll into a grad role, which is what I did. And under the trimester system, I also did one at the end of third year, which was not a good idea. But anyway, it's a pretty grueling thing in trimesters if you just do internships every single summer. It's also like you don't really have the skills for most people at the end of first year to get internships at big tech companies. You could look at smaller boutique companies, which is what I did, but yeah, that's just something to note, that it's usually more of a second year thing that you do. I'm not sure if other people wanted to add on to that. That's a general spiel that I give.
Yeah, I'm happy to add on. So for a lot of internship programs, they will really specify they only want penultimate students. This is purely just to avoid the whole like, oh, I'm in my first year, I don't know anything. There's a level of I don't know anything they're willing to accept, and it's not a first year, it's a penultimate student. Penultimate, you'll hear this phrase a lot. It just means you're in your second last year of study. So we're saying for a 3-year program, that should be your second year. But maybe if you're in a 6-year program, that'd be your 5th year. Or sometimes if you just, life happens and you end up being at uni for a bit longer than 3 years, it's just whatever your final year is -1, right? And I think personally with like getting internships, yes, finding them is very simple. Like you can find them off LinkedIn, you can find them on the job boards, as Sophia has mentioned. I think the university also has its own like Grad Connect website called like UNSW Connect. So there's a lot of industry partners who post like their job adverts there, and you kind of just like need to be on top of it yourself. But really, like applying for jobs, applying for internships kind of becomes a full-time role in itself, right? You have to always be looking. No one's gonna tell you. You have to like always be looking yourself. You have to make sure that when you do your applications that you submit them on time and that to the best standard. You got to make sure that when, you get callbacks to do certain things like assessment rounds or an interview that, it matches with your schedule and that you don't put like 5 interviews in one day because, if you don't do well in the first one, then you're probably not setting yourself up mentally well for like the other 4 they have lined up that day. So it becomes a whole full-time scheduling responsibility and juggling all these things on top of the fact that you're doing it during term. So you have to like also keep on top of all your like uni work. So that's just like my like little 2 cents. It's just kind of be careful of those things because if you start missing out on deadlines either at uni or with your recruiter, it's not a good look for like for you. So that's just something to keep in mind that you want to make sure that your recruiter is quite happy with you, so you apply to things on time or you do things in the correct ways. If they ask for a very specific thing and you send them like something completely wrong, they're not going to be quite happy with that either.
Yeah, I agree. I think you want to do a couple of years at uni to get some maturity under your belt, and what you learn in a year is so much. It changes so much, and who you become after 1 year, after 2 years, you're unrecognizable almost in some ways. And so give yourself the time to cook, really. And the other thing is like, you want to become a human before you start applying to jobs. And what I mean by that is like, you want to have a personality. Like, you don't want to just be like, yeah, I know life to high school, I know life to CSE, and I'm a great programmer and I've got nothing else to offer. Companies won't like it and they won't see much in you. And so I was like, go do other stuff. Go join a society. Have things that you can talk about in a group interview or something. Be interesting.
The thing that's gotten me the most notice in job applications is that I do stand-up comedy. And like, that's just something that people see that on my CV and they go, okay, well, I want to talk to this guy now.
Yeah, people love. I mean, we saw it when we were looking. I remember looking at your application, Henry, and we were like, oh, it's interesting. So yeah, I think like to an extent, personality hires do exist. I think we're all personality hires. If you think you're not, like maybe there's some rare 10x engineer who sits in a closet all day and doesn't need a personality, but that's like 1%, right? You'll learn this in 1531 when you have to work with 4 other nightmare people. You're like, I don't want to work with people that don't have a personality.
Yeah. I feel like jumping off of personality hires, that's got like a stigma attached to it, where people are like, oh, you're not a dev, you're just like there for the vibes. Like, that's not the case. I've always been told, and I think this is definitely true for me, like, if you have your foundations of computer science, people want someone that they want to sit next to for 8 hours a day and work with you for 40 hours a week. If you've got the skills and it can see that you're eager to learn, they will take that. They don't always want the smartest person in the room. Sometimes they do, but generally they want someone that you're going to be working with all the time. So someone that they want to work with, someone that they can have lunch with during your 1 hour lunch breaks every single day. As long as you can be taught and you're willing to learn, especially as an intern or a grad, it's not about being the smartest person in the room most of the time.
Yeah, if you like drain the room of energy the moment you walk in, it doesn't matter how good you are. No one wants to be there with you. So personality, like, we all have a personality. We're all personality hires. This is what I was trying to say. You might just not know it or might not like it. So anyway, all right. Go on.
I was just about to say, in addition to like everything, like preparing for internship interviews is a bit soul crushing. There's a lot of like leak code problems that you have to do, and as soon as you're done with the interview process, with the internship process, you're just like, oh, all this leak code stuff is not that useful in the grand scheme of things. So it's like you have to balance practicing leak code while also doing your coursework, while also like trying to work on projects that you want to show on your resume. So it's like, get ready, as Brie was saying, it is like a full-time endeavor trying to apply for things. And also I want to say, rejection doesn't mean like anything for you as a person. Get used to it. There's a lot of rejections. There's the applicant pool to the amount of people that are actually applying. It's just a numbers game at the end of the day. Keep applying. Don't get dissuaded by the rejections that are coming your way. If you do, I mean, if you don't, you're doing great.
Yeah, I'm gonna sound like my dear mother now, but sometimes rejections happen for a reason. And like in my experience, like I got rejected from this job that I thought I was a shoo-in for, and like I'd already been working there, and I thought it was gonna be great. And it was I was rejected. I was like, there's no, like, this is a nightmare. Like, if I can't get a job here, I'm screwed. And then I got a job at UNSW, which ranks like 180 universities higher. So now, if I had got that job there, I would have still been there. It would have been worse. So you don't know what's coming, right? You just got to adapt, cop it on the chin, and get better, and stay positive and stay resilient. It's every, like, how many paper rejections have you had this year, Henry? I mean, we all, it's life, right? You not
More
everything.
than acceptances.
Yeah, not
All it
everything.
takes is one acceptance.
Yeah,
All it
that's
takes is
right.
one yes.
That's right. That's right. Everyone goes through it.
You said something really on the nose there, Jake. You said, in my experience. And speaking of, do your my experiences.
Yeah, I haven't been good at pushing it very hard this term, but
Subliminal messaging.
yeah, that's right. In my experience, it's time for the Kahoot, and we got to wrap this term up. So, is it duplicate of Final Hurrah, Sophia? Is that the cooked one?
I got a bit distracted and didn't really cook it up. So I sent you two options. One is really cooked, but like out of scope of course cooked. I don't know if you remember that traumatic do while that I gave the students last year, but it's that one. That's a little bit much. The Final Hurrah one is a little bit more tailored towards like hurdle revision. I believe it was written last term.
Do you want mega cooked or do you want revision cooked?
I feel like there's only one or two mega cooked, but I also can't validate that all the answers are actually correct.
Yeah,
I think they are,
the points don't matter.
They do say the mega cooked, revision cooked, both.
Both? No, I don't want to do
everything.
Both. Oh God, both. How many can we merge?
There is a revision.
Is that possible?
There's a revision. That is possible if you guys just keep talking for like a
let's buy
few
Sophia
minutes.
some time. Let's buy Sophia some time.
I'm just gonna look over here and try and focus.
Well, actually, we're due for a lecture break, aren't we? It's just past 12.
It's a good point. I need to go make a coffee. One term, the 80% my experience, not 80%, it was the 70% my experience bonus was a tour of my coffee machine, an espresso setup. But you guys, I don't know if you're going to hit 70%. We're not even at 50 yet.
I really want to game with Jake, and I think getting 70% of my experience is the only way that it happens. What will we play? What do you play?
Overcooked.
I don't know. Overcooked? I despise Overcooked.
Yeah, me
so
too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a one-trick pony. I've got like, I'm ashamed to admit this maybe, but I've got like 10,000 plus hours in Dota.
I've never played Dota before in my life, so
that would be a nightmare.
Keen. Yeah, it's
like literally this Windows computer. It's all I do on it is play Dota, which isn't a lot now, but it's the only thing that the computer does, and I really should just get rid of it. But I could teach you Dota.
There's a bunch of Jackbox party packs that we could.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be
Jackbox.
good with tutors.
Yeah. Gartic phone, I think someone said in chat a while ago. Like a few days ago. Anyway, lecture break,
Is the
coffee,
stream still
etc.
working?
Yes. I've got it up on another screen.
All right, yeah, let's go break and let Sophia cook on Kahoot.
the link to this.
All right, we're so back.
No, I'll just compete properly.
How do I? So
You
if
go,
I stop
Jake.
sharing together mode and then I redo it, is that what you're saying?
Oh,
Oh.
now me and Jake are
Oh.
together.
What
I
happened?
guess no more together mode.
How do I?
Wait, now I lost the lecture.
Well, I was gonna put it back. I just need to
Maybe it's
fix
just
the empty
that
chair.
particular. I think it's just that particular scene has up to
Oh.
5 people, so it's just kind of the
Where's Ibby? Ibby left.
Yeah. What did someone
I
say?
think you
He
can
looked-
rearrange where we're sitting though. You can
Let's
put
go to the
yourself in
dining
middle.
room.
Oh.
This is nice.
Oh, there's a wall in my way. Drat. Ah! Unnecessary.
Okay, so am I
Oh,
doing
it's so
duplicate
bad.
of Final Hurrah?
It's the one I just sent in the chat of this call.
Uh,
I think it's duplicate of final.
Okay. Got it. That's very comp.
All right.
All right.
Naming is my passion.
Host live. Now, are we playing?
I'm playing.
I don't think I can play because I
You
made it,
can't
so it's
play.
a bit unfair.
Well, you host it then.
But I'm not on the stream, so I can't.
But you
I'm not on your OBS.
Can't you do it on the share your screen on? No, okay, never mind. I'll just.
The lag will be so real.
I'll just start it and I'll just join on my phone. So,
Yeah.
Oh, I need to go here. God, I'm good.
Well, I mean, joining for phone is how you get that speed.
All right, here we
I'm
go.
joining this Kahoot, everyone.
I'm also
So I
joining
take
this
no
Kahoot.
responsibility for the correctness of the answers.
Oh,
We do our
That
best.
adds to it.
I don't want to say who I am. What if I do really poorly?
Yeah. I'll
Or
say
have
who
you
I
not
am
done
if I
the random
win.
name generation?
Sorry?
Was it on random names?
Yeah. You can only spin. We had to do that. Why do you think we had to do that? Because you're horrific
was
sometimes.
there.
These students,
But
horrific.
I forgot to turn it on
Yeah.
in my first lecture, and I had to turn it on and kick everyone out.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, you guys are
within
monsters,
seconds-
by the way. Yeah. You don't know
within
what we have to
seconds I
deal
was
with.
close to getting fired, I
I didn't
assume.
even look for it in mine. Also, Jake, you might have to move us. We might cover one of the options on the stream,
Yep.
or like shrink the
How's that?
computer or something.
That should be okay.
We just
up
don't
there.
need to be
We
there.
might cover a question there. We'll see what happens.
I
I
also
mean, you can
need
just
everyone
move
to
us.
know
around.
that in Jake's first lecture back, I joined the Kahoot, dominated the entire thing, and then Bree convinced I just had to throw at the end because it would have been unfair otherwise.
Well, that's good.
Oh, Jake, I brought Pokemon cards for you yesterday, and I forgot them in my bag.
Oh no.
Well, I'll give them to you at the exam, and we can give them to students after the exam.
How can I join
When we
on
see
my
them
phone
walking
and
out.
still read the Kahoot? It shows you the questions on your phone, right?
If you have the settings set on, yeah,
Oh, why do you need a different tab?
which I assume you do.
Also, watch your lecture not on your phone. Like the
Dude,
YouTube
One,
matches.
one term a year ago or something, it was like week 10. I was walking to the lecture to give the lecture on campus. And the student bumps into me and he goes, "Oh, Jake, you're my lecturer for COMP1511. Do you have any tips for the exam?" And he's walking in the opposite direction from the lecture hall. And I was like, "Why don't you turn around and come with me to the lecture?"
Did he?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh man.
Students do wild things.
Oh yeah, I can.
All right.
Yeah. I resonate with that.
Shall we start?
Yeah, let's get into it.
And then I gotta lock in here. Oh no, we don't want that. But look at the questions on your phone, remember? Or do you have to look
I
at the
should
screen?
fix the naming.
Oh no, okay. Okay, no, yeah, it works.
Here we go.
What is the output of this code snippet? Oh god, I'm not gonna win this. It's the speed.
Is this answer correct?
I actually don't know. I don't know if this is a good
Neither do
question.
I.
because
I copied this
it
one.
might be
This is not.
undefined.
Depends on which compiler you use.
Yeah, I think it might.
DCC for the purposes of this
Oh,
course.
what?
Oh, I'm in 15th place.
It gives you an error if you try to dereference null because there's no value in DCC.
Don't know about that.
I'm
I gotta
gonna
do next
I'm
year.
gonna remind myself that I program in Python and learn C just to teach link lists.
That's impressive.
Which header
Yo,
file?
I'm on the podium. So big.
This is really stressful. I'm sorry we do this to you all term. I get it now. I get why students don't want to do the Kahoot. I never got it.
I feel like students always want to do the Kahoot
No,
from
there's
my
some that
experience.
sit out.
Did you hear that? I
I
said
find
from
them-
my
Oh,
experience.
okay. We need to do like the Simpsons episode, Join the Navy. No?
Yeah, no, yeah. I was gonna think, oh my God, I'm still on. Oh God.
Oh no, did you get that wrong?
We all have bad days, it says, which is true. You know what? I'm going for a 0% speed run.
Okay, what's the output of snippet on line 8? I can't see the
I can't see the
image.
picture.
Oh.
It will come. Oh, I thought I deleted this one. I think I forgot to press save.
Oh god.
I don't know.
This
I
is
just have to guess.
stressful.
A friend of mine just messaged me on Discord saying, I'm gonna win this Kahoot, and then said, oh Lord, at sea, I'm actually cooked, chat. If you're watching, I'm rooting for you, man.
All right.
I respect that.
By the way, chat, if you want to discuss an answer, tell me. But I think this one was okay. We can always go back. All right, let's go.
Oof.
How is an array initialized in C language? Great question.
Oh, I did get rid of. I forgot to press save on the ones I deleted.
Oh, it's fine. We're just
Oh,
gonna
it's not going to have the cooked questions in it.
It's also not gonna have the
Oh.
final questions in it.
It's got oh, I don't know if like I wonder
well.
how like concurrency works. If I edit it and save it now,
I
what's going to
don't.
happen?
I
to your
don't know.
running
I
game?
think we'll be in an old
It's
one.
okay, we can cook.
I think we got to cook
Don't
with
break
this
it, don't
now.
break it.
I'm coming back.
Also, me too. I'm coming back. So Sophia's upset. We could do a bonus cooked one after this. We still have another 30 minutes.
I don't know what's going to happen. It's because I forgot to press save on the
Yeah.
final answer, so it gave me an error, but the modal wasn't big enough, so I didn't see it.
Oh no.
Mm.
What is
I'll
the
start
output
with
of
the
the
following
following
code
code
snippet.
snippet?
Here we go.
Ah, the picture.
Damn, that makes me really sad.
I'm sorry, Sophia.
I was put under time pressure. This is why you need to do your prac exams in 3 hours in the correct environment. Time
Okay.
pressure is so real.
Yeah, these are anti-cooked.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Wait, it's got 14. This might be right. Wait. How many questions is mine meant to have? No, it's meant to have 17. You've got the wrong Kahoot.
Oh well, we're in for the trip
Oh,
now.
well.
What is
It's
the
okay.
output?
We're in for the long haul.
That's so sad. Why do I try?
I hate these questions.
Oh god.
Maybe it is more cooked than I thought.
That's the
I'm
secret.
just
Jake's
gonna
got a
guess.
pen there.
We're
That's some
always
pen and paper
cooked.
math.
I just realized I can just buy myself Pokemon cards. The university pays me enough.
I don't know.
No
I
fun
don't-
in that.
Wait to get your first rental increase.
Oh no. Yeah.
Guys, I don't want to brag, okay, but I'm on the podium.
Oh no.
Oh,
I am not.
Bree,
So when we
so
see
on the
someone
podium?
drop,
I've fallen off the podium like
You've
2
fallen
seconds ago.
off the podium. I'm on the podium. Okay.
I'm gonna get there. I'm getting there. Can't stop, won't stop.
There's a possible way.
This is cooked.
I don't know
I
the
think this
answer
is
to
a
this
bit
at all.
cooked.
it's
What if I
easy
put
one.
this here? Is that a better spot for that?
But sometimes it's a picture.
I
don't
think,
know if
okay, I think I've lost it.
Is an easy one. I think I might
This
have
is
cooked
this
that.
is my version of
Come
it.
on. Come on. Let's go. I almost swore, but I didn't.
Shit! I just
Ugh.
did swear. Damn it! Okay, I gotta recook.
Let's go.
He's off the podium.
I'm
Also,
40.
that,
Totally
by the
see
way,
drop
by
off
the
is
way,
Jake.
that always annoyed me in C because I was always taught you can't get the size of an array in C. But you can. It does store it.
Yes. We lie to you.
No, everyone
To be
lied to
fair.
me. What is the
Yeah.
output of this code snippet?
You might want to move us, Jake.
Oh,
No, I want to win.
Oh, no. Oh, no, wait. I can't. I don't know. I didn't even read that properly. Yeah, I've put this in a bad spot. Yeah,
I'm
good.
climbing. I'm climbing.
Good stuff. I'm so upset.
I'm climbing.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. All right, what is the output of the following code snippet? Oh, Kahoot's mean. A bit too swift.
This one just says, that was quick. And I'll thank you. I think.
Yep.
Let's go. Keep on keeping on, Henry.
You can do this, Henry.
I just need people who are placed ninth
Yeah,
through
someone
first
needs to
throw.
cook it up. What's the output of the following code on line 13?
Oh
What?
no. Oh no.
Maybe
Okay.
it's not as easy as I thought.
What?
What? Okay. So wait, so it only happens in
I'm guessing.
I
No, my Ferrari car broke.
what? It's one of these two. This one.
The music really decided when to get intense, didn't it? Chat's gone quiet. Are we just too cooked or are we
Come on.
not enjoying this?
Maybe.
Everyone's locked
Maybe.
in.
Damn
I'm
it!
For the
so
best.
good.
Damn
I'm
it!
so good.
We
Okay,
got
what
this
was
one.
that doing, Sophia? So I know it was when it was a lowercase letter. So that this one tipped you off that it was either orange or yellow or green. This line 7.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a lowercase letter, so you know it's only changing E. It's equal to the lowercase a plus the current letter
offset.
minus a plus 24.
And then modding it by 26, so
Yeah,
wrapping
then-
it to always be lowercase.
But is there a purpose to it or is it just cooked?
And you just, how well do
Yeah,
you know
it's
the
just
ASCII table? There's no real. Well, I guess
To
the
be
plus
fair-
24 is it'll always give a 2 offset from what it currently is because you're subtracting it from capital A, then plus.
Sorry, what is the output of the following code?
Those
Sorry, I
two-
skipped it.
Sorry, the plus and
No,
minus.
no, no, no,
of
no, no. We have to do the
lowercase
next
a will
question.
cancel.
Sorry. Oh no.
Is he? What is it? Where we at? Oh, you've
Wait,
moved it. I'm not on the. Wait, where are you looking?
What is this?
Are we still looking at the code snippet?
No.
What are we looking at?
We're looking at the code snippet. The next one. We've started the next question.
Oh, I've been looking. My stream is not online.
Yeah, don't look at the stream.
My bad. I can't see the Kahoot because I'm not playing.
Oh, okay, don't worry.
So I'm
I'll
looking.
ta-
I'm gonna
Yeah, okay.
be quiet.
Please. Please.
I might
We
have
can only hope.
I really hope I've redeemed myself here. This is a long amount of time. Yes.
No.
Got the podium!
I've lost my
Good.
answer streak.
Why
what
was it a
that?
runtime error, Henry? You teach us.
Well, no, I didn't get it right, so I need to.
Yeah,
look
well,
at
you
it
need
and
to-
figure it. I can't show media on my phone.
I've gotten every single question correct. How am I still second? First of all, that's crazy impressive. Second of all, it's all about speed. Speed. Why is this a
Why
runtime
is
error?
it-
You can
why is this a
tell
runtime error?
you can tell very quickly.
I is greater than or equal to 0. I equals I. I'm not seeing it. Can someone in chat help
So
me?
I starts at 9. So you're looping
Correct.
down, and the very
Yeah,
first
I'm
line of the
following
while
that.
statement compares
for
I
God's
to the
damn it.
one to the
Oh.
right. So it accesses out of bounds of
Obviously.
the array.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Okay, but most people got it. So
Well, don't you all feel
Sorry,
better knowing
Henry.
that someone who's been programming for however many years it's been
what
still
output does this code
messes that
snippet
up?
produce? Next question. Oh god.
Oh, what?
Well, it's a bit small there, eh? Bree's so locked in right now. So is Jake.
What?
I don't know how to do this. I'm just gonna guess. Oh my god, what even was that? Horrific form.
So my friend who used to be a software engineer at one of the biggest companies in Christchurch has just messaged me to say, this is cooked.
Ah,
And
and
then he
this was
said,
my easy one.
then he said,
I've
good thing
cooked
that
it.
AI can think for me now, though. So he's not wrong. No, he is wrong.
What even is this? What?
How
Yo,
how am I still not on the podium?
Jake. Not good.
Correct.
You're 4.
Oh,
I know, but
Oh, podium is 1, 2, 3.
do we need an explainer on that? And the explainer
Yeah.
can't be
I
made.
feel like
All right, I can explain this. Maybe. Can I zoom that in a bit? Sophia, you're going to fact check me live. All right. The A array is a dynamically sized static array, so it's going to have 5 elements. 2, 4, 6, 8, 1. We're all with me? Int B is an array of integers. B is an array of integers.
I mean,
Well, it's a pointer
it's
to an
pointed
integer.
to an integer.
So I guess
That
it's not
doesn't
an array
point
of
to
integers.
anything.
C is
No.
an array of integers.
It's a pointer to an array of integers, yeah.
Yeah. Although it'll only have 32 bits, right?
Yeah. Wait.
B, right? Yeah. Well, yeah. B,
Yeah.
No, C points to A.
Yes.
So C is an array of integers. It's the A array.
Yes.
Yeah. B is assigned the value of it. That's just indexing. It's getting the element 2, so 6, and then it gets the address of 6. So B points to 6. B points to the memory address that contains the value 6. Then you loop over A.
No, B. So you add the size of an integer to the memory address stored in B, and you let that equal to
Sorry, what are you talking
C0.
about? Oh, I
which is
missed line
2.
10. Sorry, I missed line 10. Is that what you're saying?
So line 10, line 10 is updating the value in like 8 in the original array to 0. Because it's adding the offset of the size of an integer
that's right,
to the memory address.
Because B pointed to 6, and the element next to 6 is still valid. So by offsetting by 1, you're pointing now to where the 8 is, and you're changing that to be C of 0. C of 0 is 2. Correct?
Oh, sorry, C of 0. Yeah.
Yeah, C of
So
0
it'll be
is 2
2,
because
4,
the
6,
0
2.
element of C is just whatever A was, which is 2. So the array is 2, 4, 6, 2, 1.
Correct.
Which is 6, 7, 8, 6. Sorry, 2, 4, 6. So 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the
quick
answer.
maths.
Have you all heard of Python before?
No.
Have you heard of the intricacies of memory?
Is this kaboom easier than the exam? No, this won't be on the exam. something like this.
This is what
This is just like a trick question. Like, it's not a good question. It's just like a
do you understand how array indexing
Yeah.
works? That's really what it is.
but
and
like
what it's
yeah,
actually
yeah. With
doing.
time, you'll be able to figure that out. I think maybe. Anyway,
Yeah, this is definitely extension content.
all right, let's go. 2 more questions.
Maybe they
Oh
don't
yes, a
see my
link list.
clock
Here we
one.
go.
I might have cooked that. It's just the time pressure.
We're not even playing it with music.
You're not?
I think Jake's got the
Ah,
music.
Yeah, I got the music.
But
I'm
mean,
not playing
none
it
of
with
us have
music.
Yeah, I'm just sort of awkwardly sitting in my dining room. Not to break the illusion. Surrounded by my 3 close friends.
And some
By
people,
myself in silence.
And our succulents and palm
Damn
trees.
it. We
Yes.
all have bad days. Yeah, thank you, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
All right, I got it wrong, but current next is null is not null, so we loop. What's the input? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at null. So you go back 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went back 1 too many. So you stop looping here. So does that mean we remove the next one, which was 7? Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. I also went 1 too far back.
Yeah. All right, last question.
Double points. Here we go. I'm so back.
Double.
Oh,
point.
never mind. It's so over. I
What?
have no idea.
Oh, I hate you. Oh no.
Oh no.
That many. I've got it. Easy. Here we go. A bit too swift? No, I don't drive a Suzuki Swift.
Oh,
You know,
this is like you'll learn this in 1521.
I'm just gonna guess. I don't. There's no way. My
Well,
math
1 and
is not
4.
that fast.
If we all pick a different answer, one of us will get it.
General principle.
True.
I picked the prettiest number.
I think also this question is hard because there's no right answer. That's not right.
Because of the padding.
That's not right. It can't be. How would it ever be odd?
Are we talking well, because we haven't padded it.
But
Because a char is 1, so that's why it would be odd. But technically the struct is padded. So like if we're talking pre-pad,
Yeah.
it's right. Post-pad, it's not.
well,
we get 3
2
from the
people got
child.
it, so I guess whoever those were. I don't think that's right.
right.
We could. Oh, the Malik.
Well, a double is 8. A char is 1. We have 3 of them, so that's 12. And int is
4
how many bytes?
or 8.
4. 4.
8.
4, because the double's 8.
Oh, 4, yeah.
4. So 4 plus 8 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. Multiply that by 3, 45. But technically, in memory, it would pad the rest
won't
of
be
the remaining
45.
struct.
Yep.
It can't be
It
45.
won't cut like
yeah.
it wouldn't be, but it
So
is.
we cooked ourselves. I guess,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. Like, maybe if you worded it as like, what would the size of the struct be? And you don't have the
Yeah.
malloc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I didn't podium then.
I
I think
also did
basically
not
it's going to come
podium.
down to
I
the 2
didn't
people that
podium.
got the
last one.
last
They
one.
just know what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I had
Actually,
a
I
nightmare
didn't
about
write that
malloc.
question.
So did I. Yeah, I doubt it. Yeah. Okay, good job,
That was a
podium.
Sappho
I came
special.
5th, I think. No, I
No.
didn't. Oh, I came 6th.
I'm 5th.
Yeah, you
I've
beat
been
me.
told that
Jake.
Rome wasn't built in a day. That's crazy.
Aw. It doesn't even tell you what you came. All
There
right.
you go.
That
That was
was
the
cursed.
non-cooked one.
Yeah, that wasn't even cooked. Well, if you get, maybe we need to lower our my experience target,
You can get the cooked one.
and we can do the cooked one on stream. But good job. If you got a Pokemon card, then I don't know when I'll give it to you, but you can try get it at some point.
I'll visit after your exam.
All right. We should wrap this up. Guys, it's been so great teaching you, doing my small part for COMP1511 this term. For those of you who watch the lecture back, hopefully you skip ahead and watch to the end of the lecture. It's been great. I hope you've learnt a lot. If you think back to week 1, we were like, this is an if statement. This is an integer. And now you're like, yeah, linked lists are easy. It's arrays that I worry about. So I hope you all see how far you've come. I got to thank the whole team. There's only 2 or 3 of us here. But it's such a huge team effort. There's 60 tutors, course admins. We got to shout out John, and Liam, who ran the live streams, ran the video setup, did all of that stuff. John's in the chat right now, I think. Bree, who did lecture modding all term, Liam as well. Sophia, who did like everything else with the other course admins, Ibi and Andrew, who had to leave, and Grace. Henry, obviously, who saved me while I was gallivanting in Italy. Not really, I was working. Let's call it working. And I was really sick for one of them. That was great. God, who else?
All our 60 tutors, lab assistants,
all the tutors, lab assists, help sessions, forum people. No shout out to AV, who weren't helpful yesterday. No, we do thank you. The ghost that calls the phone every lecture, shout out to you.
Yeah.
Someone from the other side's trying to reach us, warn us about the Kahoot. All right, last few questions. This is your last opportunity, chat. Are you teaching 1521 next term? No, I don't teach that course. 3110, maybe 1511. What is the best way to study for this term? For the exam, do the practice exam. You can find past practice exam questions. We'll make those more available. Sophia, I think, is cooking that at the moment.
Yeah.
Why is COMP15/911 so well run compared to other courses? I don't know, but please give them my experience and shout us out. Like, it helps us get those resources, and it makes the university build more courses like this one. Really, the answer is we really care about programming. We love programming, and we care about teaching programming in the best possible way we can. Another really important reason is we wouldn't be able to do it without the resources we get given. The budget to run this course is considerable. It's a lot of money. And other places I've taught gets a third, a quarter of the budget, and we wouldn't be able to do it without that budget. So that's why it's important to tell the university that that the course is working, and we need that to continue getting that budget. And we want to improve the course every single term. So if you've got genuine feedback, or any feedback, it doesn't have to be genuine, we want to read it. We read it all. I read every single one of those 254 responses to my weekly lecture feedback survey. Every single night after the lecture, I read them, and I'm like, okay, I'll do this, and I'll fix this, and I'll get OBS working better. So we really just do care. Shout out to Figma. License. I need some licenses.
Yes.
You guys never got me any licenses. Can we do a meet and greet? Yeah, it's called the exam. We'll see you there, 21st of August. Shout out Figma.
Soon.
Are there any other resources to help us approach the practice questions? Look, I don't think there's any more we can give. All the lectures, the tut labs, the forum. Sophia and the team are going to release some more practice questions in addition to the practice exam that we're releasing this week in the labs. So there's honestly probably too much out there. What's best is to pick your battles and spend your time wisely. But I hope you've all.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So go, Henry.
Are you immediate start practice exam kind of people, or are you only do the practice exam when you've studied enough to be prepared to take the practice exam?
I think you want to be studied.
Cool. Good.
Yeah.
I'm a do it to see what I don't know.
Yeah. The problem is that we only have one.
Yeah,
Well, after Friday,
maybe.
there will be more than one.
Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
There'll be at least one more.
Well, we're going to release another one. There you go. So maybe you can do both. But honestly, the other thing at this point in the term is just to look after yourself. Don't get anxious. Don't stress yourself out. I know it's easy to say, don't get anxious. But just like, stay cool. Don't stress. Do it. It's not the end of the world if you fail the exam. No one's going to die, I promise. It just feels that way to us because we have lizard brains. So like the worst thing you can do is just panic and do weird things, like I said, like eat weird breakfasts and stay out all night
Please
drinking
eat
and
before your
partying.
exam.
So
Remember what I said. Remember what I said in week 9. Touching grass is still important,
Touching
and watching
grass, go
Australian
for a
Survivor
walk.
is still important.
Go for a run, do some exercise. Honestly, we all need to listen to that advice sometimes. Get up, get a good sleep. Get good sleep. That's the stuff that you can make a big impact at this point in term, I think. Otherwise, small dog, up dog time. What's up, dog?
Nothing much. What's up with you?
My experience reports. All right, everyone. It's been a great term. Thank you all so much for coming on the ride. And we will see you, Henry, myself, and the admins and everyone around campus in future courses. 2521 for Henry T1, COMP1511 T3 next year for myself, and maybe even other courses. Hopefully, I don't see you again in 1511, because that would mean we shouldn't end on that note. I will see you in our future courses.
What's Australian Survivor? That's my ending note.
Oh, Survivor. Yeah, we're all surviving here. All right, see you, everyone.
Yeah.
See ya.